Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the dungeon. You are watching Pillar to Post. This is your NXT report, and you're probably wondering, why the hell wasn't there a SmackDown report? I'm going to let you know right now. SmackDown was complete garbage. I fell asleep through it. I didn't even wake up. I caught the very beginning of the show and caught the last match. That was all that I witnessed from SmackDown. If this show can't keep me awake, I'm not going to report on it. Now, I'm not a guy that's going to blow smoke up your ass either. Today wasn't the best NXT I've ever seen, but the last match surely made up for it. A hell of a slobber knocker there. And I got to admit, I'm digging Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. They can knock the shit out of each other and still keep going, and I love what I see. But before we get into things for NXT, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors here, and today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/pillar to post. Now, using that link I just gave you, which is in the description below, will help you get a free audiobook download and 30-day free membership. Now, they have over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And the kicker is, if you don't want to stick out the free membership, you can cancel at any time and you still keep your free audiobook download. Our second sponsor, Grapple Merch. Visit grapple.bigcartel.com, and when using the code at the checkout counter, Pillar to Post 77, all one word, lowercase, you receive a discount courtesy of Pillar to Post and Grapple Merch for wrestling memorabilia such as t-shirts, autographed photos, WWE Elite wrestling figures in your very own Grapple box. Now that is out of the way. I want to give a shout out to Brian Hillibert. He is also a sponsor here of Pillar to Post. Greatly appreciated. The help goes a long way, people. Now, if you want to become a sponsor, you can contact me personally, and we will work out the details. Now, you can check out my Teespring Stores, Pillar to Post, as well as Circle of Steel store. I'm going to be going through them tomorrow, and I'm going to update them all and add some new features. There's some things I can't do for you. At the moment, the Big Dog Wrestling and Pillar to Post bandanas will not be in Teespring. You have to order them from me, and you will pay shipping and handling, shipping charges, I should say. If you want to check out my FB merch page as well as my author page and send me a friend request to keep up with me on Facebook, those links are in the description below. And I've got my VidMe channel up there as well. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so for as low as $1 a month. And that link is in the description below. It is patreon.com/Pillar to Post. Now, there are bonuses if you want to pledge higher. And you will get rewards if you pledge a certain amount. But if you want to help the channel out for as low as $1, just visit my Patreon page, pledge $1, and that goes a long way to support the channel. You can find me on Twitter at Pillar to Post 77, and my email if you want to use that for send me any kind of stories related to wrestling or what have you, or order merchandise for Big Dog Wrestling, Pillar to Post, or Circle of Steel. You can do so at SteelDragon1234 at hotmail.com. That is all in the description below of this video, and you can use any of them at will. Now, like I said, sorry, the throat's a little bit, there's my bottle of water. I'm not going to say this was the best NXT I've ever watched, okay? Because like I said at the top of the show, I'm not here to blow smoke up anyone's ass. Now, usually it's a pretty good show. Today was kind of a little bit slower. I actually had a hard time staying awake today until the main event of the shows kicked in, and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch just knocked it out of the park. These guys are hard-hitting strikers as well as technicians in that ring. It is beautiful to see how they fight. And if you didn't catch it, I hope you guys can check it back out. I got to click off some of these notifications I'm getting quickly, though. Now, the show started off, Nikki Cross and Sanity are in the ring, and Nikki Cross is screaming for AoP. The AoP obliged, they walk out with Paul Ellering. Eric Young comes out of nowhere, blindsides Razor from behind. The rest of Sanity attack Occam in the ring. Young zip ties Razor to the guardrail. Dane sentons Occam over and over again. Razor dislodges the guardrail and drags it to the ring. Razor tries to get in the ring, but Wolf cuts him off. Dane stands on Razor's chest and crushes him with a leaping senton. Wolf picks up Occam as Young dives off the top rope for a neck breaker. Now Cross grabs the tag titles and hands them to Wolf and Dane. Sanity poses in the ring with the titles in hand. So you know something big is going to go down at the next takeover between AoP and Sanity. After that, we had the Metro Brothers versus the Street Profits. Now, when I seen the Metro Brothers come out, I thought, what the hell? They're redoing Deuce and Domino? Really? You couldn't give these guys a different look. You had to reenact that old 50, 60 greaser style look that you gave these guys. You know, the exact identical look that Deuce and Domino had back in the day. And you want to talk about a shit tag team? Well, these guys took it a step further, and they were no better than Deuce and Domino. Now, their names are Dawkins and Chris, are the Street Profits. Dawkins from the Metro Brothers and Chris kick off the match. Dawkins locks in a side headlock. Chris whips Dawkins into the ropes. Dawkins floors Chris with a shoulder block. After a drop down, Dawkins slams Chris. Dawkins tags in Ford, who hits a basement drop kick as Dawkins flattens Chris with a splash. Now Dawkins and Ford do the world's most ridiculous handshake over Chris's fallen body. Now I got this a little bit wrong. It is Dawkins and Ford that are the Street Profits, and Chris, who is part of the Metro Brothers. Now Chris tries to backdrop, but Ford backflips over him and dances in his face. Chris punches Ford in the gut and pushes him into the corner. JC tags in and makes fun of Dawkins. Stir the pot taunt. Ford manages to tag in Dawkins, and Dawkins obliterates Chris with his spear. Then hits a spinning elbow into the corner on JC. Dawkins sky highs JC. I shouldn't say sky high. It was a sort of sky high. Ford hits a frog splash off the top rope for the win. The Street Profits take their debut victory. Not the best match. I wasn't really that into it, but it is what it is. NXT is a place where guys can build their characters up, and that's what both these teams are going to need. Hopefully, this debuting team of the Metro Brothers gets a whole new look, because frankly, it just reminded me of bad days. After this, we get a video is shown of Hideo Itami. I do apologize. Hideo Itami trying to attack Aleister Black and fails miserably. Officials separate Black and Itami. Black versus Itami at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 is officially announced. That, my friends, is going to be one hell of a match. I'm actually more excited to see TakeOver Brooklyn than I am to see SummerSlam. I can honestly say that, folks. Now we got an in-ring segment next. Drew McIntyre going face-to-face with Bobby Roode. Now NXT General Manager William Regal introduces both competitors. As Roode gets in the ring, security lines up on the ring apron. Roode says the guys on the apron are his personal security. They are here to protect everyone. There is a madman running around in the back named Roderick Strong. Rude officially welcomes McIntyre back into the WWE. Rude recalls that McIntyre said Rude thinks he is entitled to everything. Rude tells McIntyre he is damn right. Rude is entitled. He doesn't need second chances. This is Rude's NXT. It's not the fans or McIntyre's, it's Rude's. Now McIntyre says he has to give Rude credit. McIntyre runs down Rude's accomplishments. There's one problem with Rude. He is a complete ass. McIntyre says he is starting to pity Rude. Rude really believes the stuff he is saying. Now McIntyre says he's going to Claymore Rude back down to earth. When it's all said and done, Rude will be looking at the next NXT champion. And lo and behold, the man that was called a crazy man running around in the back like a psycho, Roderick Strong comes out onto the ramp. Regal is livid. Strong says Regal can fine him if he likes. Strong is not done with Rude. This isn't about the NXT title. This is about Rude disrespecting Strong's wife, his family, and him as a man. Now Strong asks Rude if he is man enough to fight him. Rude says if Strong wants him, he will put on the title, but he has to go through McIntyre first. Regal tells Rude that he's the one who makes the matches. McIntyre tells Regal to make the match. He will fight anyone, anywhere. Regal books the match. If Strong wins, he will get to face Rude after TakeOver is over. So that is some big match right there. I like Roderick Strong. You know, the way he can do that backbreaker in so many different ways. It is amazing to watch. And after that segment, we go into another backstage segment. Johnny Gargano is being interviewed. Says he was nervous being out there by himself last week. Gargano says he needs the feeling of what he felt at last year's TakeOver. Gargano says he wants a match at TakeOver. Well, he gets it. Now, I'm clearly missing a match here, folks. But I will get to that later on. Up next was Oney Lorcan versus Danny Burch. And like I said, this was a hard-hitting, technical match. I love the strikers match. I love the way they can go from striking to technical to straight out in your face, ridiculously balls out furious. Some of the smacks that were landed in this match, and I'm talking smacks, people. Frying pan hand slaps right upside the face. Ridiculous. It was a great match to watch. I loved every second of it, and I really woke up for this match. Now, Burch and Lorcan circle each other before locking up. Burch forces Lorcan into the corner. Burch gives Lorcan a clean break, and Lorcan single legs Burch. Burch takes Lorcan over with a snapmare, and Lorcan pushes Burch into the corner and gives him a clean break as well. Now, Burch locks in a cravat, and Lorcan tries to flip out of it, but Burch rolls with him. Lorcan gets to the ropes to break the hold, and Burch takes Lorcan down with a shoulder tackle. Now, Lorcan leaps up for a leapfrog, but Burch single legs him into a flapjack, and Burch and Lorcan trade European uppercuts. Lorcan picks up Burch and drives him back first into the corner. It almost resembled a modified Alabama Slamma, but he ran with him from one corner of the ring all the way to the other side, and then with his legs flipped him back in and careened right into that corner, man. Beautiful spot. Now, Lorcan only gets a 2 count after that. And after a short break of advertisements from the rest WWE Network, Lorcan lays in some serious knife-edge chops on Burch. Lorcan lands his running back elbow in the corner, and Lorcan tries it again, but Burch gets a boot up. Now, Burch hits a top rope dropkick, and Burch tries to hit the Tower of London, but Lorcan escapes. Burch goes behind Lorcan and hits a sick-looking German suplex. Lorcan pops up to his feet, but Burch destroys him with a lariat. Now Lorcan kicks out once again, and Burch hits the Tower of London on the top rope, drapes Lorcan's feet over the top rope, hits the Tower of London, and basically what the Tower of London is, folks, is a modified stunner, if you will. Now Lorcan surprises Burch with a roaring European uppercut, and Lorcan hits the ropes and a blockbuster Burch for a near fall. Now Burch flips Lorcan over then knees him in the face. Lorcan drops Burch and tries to slap on a single leg crab. Lorcan can't get Burch over on his stomach, begins kicking Burch in the back of the head over and over again, and Burch manages to land a few kicks trying to get away from Lorcan's submission hold. Lorcan turns Burch over in a full Boston Crab, and Burch counters with a crab into a pin for the win. Your winner of this match, Danny Burch. But after the match, Burch tries to shake the hand of Lorcan. Lorcan slaps the hand away and starts to walk away. Lorcan finally just stands there and just thinks what he should do. He turns around and shakes the hand of Burch. Now Burch holds on to the ropes. Burch holds the ropes open for Lorcan as he leaves leaves the ring. Sorry about that, folks. My mouth is seriously dry right now, and there's my bottle of water. Now, there was a main event. It was Andrade Cien Almas with Selena Vega. Now, I assumed when she first came in, she was being called Thea Trinidad. And I thought last week we had Mauro Ranallo calling her name wrong. But I guess they're sticking with Selena Vega is the new manager of Cien Almas. And basically setting him straight every time he begins to show off and get into his head. She sets him straight. He goes back to work. Now, this was between Andrade Cien Almas and No Way Jose. And it wasn't too bad of a match. I'd rather have sit and watch Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan again. But, excuse me, I forgot to take notes for this match. Once Selena Vega set Cien Almas straight, he basically just ran over No Way Jose like a freight train. He was going to go for a quick pinfall. Selena said, don't do it. Get your foot off of him. Do it the way I want you to. End it. And he ends it with a hammerlock DDT. No Way Jose is out like a light. And Cien Almas picks up a victory. And it looks like his career is going to turn around in NXT. And after the match, they're up on the stage. And Selena Vega walks over to the commentary table, grabs a microphone, and lets everyone know, especially Johnny Gargano, if you want a challenge at TakeOver, you've got one in Andrade Cien Almas. And look for a fight, people, because I guarantee you, with Selena Vega in Cien Almas' corner, it's going to be brutal. Now, excuse me. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. And I wish, if you're a newcomer here, that you go and hit the subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up, folks. Show some love. Hit the little bell that gives you notifications. And as you know, we've started a new thing with Big Dog Wrestling. We run from Monday to Wednesday. Tomorrow's my day off, and then I go from Friday to Sunday. And it has been great. I want to thank everyone that's taken part in it. And I want to thank everyone that's been having the patience that is on the waiting list to join. Now, like I said, if you can't get into 2K17 gameplay, you will get into 2K18. The list will be the first that gets added to the 2K18 game. So I ask you to be patient. Now, Friday starts Friday Fight Night. And then we move into Warfare on Saturday. And then Sunday is Suicide Sunday. Monday is Mayhem. And then we've got The Pit on Tuesday. And today, earlier today, we had The Asylum. So, you guys got a lot of wrestling coming your way. When I get some of the new games I'm looking forward to getting, I will definitely be doing some gameplay here other than 2K17. Don't you worry about that, folks. I'm hoping to get Friday 13th very shortly, and I will be doing those late night, because if you're going to play a horror game, why are you going to do it during the day? It's got to be in the evening. You got to set the mood, folks. I want to thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you Friday for Big Dog Wrestling. Thank you very much. Have a good night.